Hey guys, we are back for another video. So it just seems like Drea from Basketball Wives is just catching it. Now, for those of you that do not know, she announced that she's pregnant by her 20-year-old baby boy. And I'm going to say baby boy because Drea is in her 40s. She's 39, 40. It's all the same. But to be pregnant by someone that's 20 years younger than her, not only 20 years younger than her, she actually has a son his age. So, looks a little weird to me now. But now other basketball players is coming out and they said, Drea, what that mouth do. So let's get into this intro, y'all, and we got to get right into this video because Drea, we know why they did not ask her back to Basketball Wives because Malaysia told us she was messing around with them people men. Let's get into this video.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh?
Pregnant? Got the young boy.
Damn, if they only knew. But like I was shocked too though. Like that day when I was riding home with Philly in the car, yeah. I don't know if I can tell that story. If you want me to tell that story.
No, she's a mother now.
She's a mother now. Yeah, we can't do that. Cause that day changed my life. I ain't gonna lie. That day changed my life. That's when Swaggy P was like, okay, now I gotta this is what NBA is about.
Hey, listen. NBA, hey, listen, I'll let you know this is.
Yeah. When I'm riding in the car, he in the back seat. I turn my head, this nigga against huh?
Nah.
What was you doing in that back seat, Gil? What was you doing in that back seat? We went to the strip club.
Well, Malaysia Pargo, and hopefully you guys remember Malaysia Pargo. She was one of the castmates on Basketball Wives, but she also sat down with Carlos King and she had a mouthful to say about Drea, including why Drea just didn't make it on the show. But now we've heard from Gilbertarenas that said that she was letting it do what that mouth do. But it brings me back to Malaysia Pargo when she sat down with Carlos King. And for those of you who missed that episode, I'm going to bring that up. It is about a couple of minutes. And let's get into what Malaysia had to say about Drea.
Coming, but after she had Jason, she came in on season 3. Yeah.
And before that we had Drea.
Yes.
A knockout.
Yes, she's beautiful,
literally and figuratively gorgeous. And a firecracker.
Yes.
Young
and fun. And I was like, when they brought Drea in, I was like, oh, thank God. Like someone else to bounce off of, because at this point I was the youngest, so it was hard, hey guys, I got my Chanel. What y'all doing? They was they just wasn't trying to really. They wasn't trying to fuck with a kid. They made it real hard for me, but I was like, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, so I'm here. So what we doing? And then when Drea came, I was like, oh, yay, someone that I can bounce off of. She wasn't, we were in the same age group, and she was young and fun, and it just gave it a little more flavor.
What was it like working with Drea?
The first couple years, it was fun. And then once she, kind of start feeling herself, it was a little tedious. Not towards me, but towards the other people, because they didn't like her. So it will come into a point where, if she wasn't filming and I was, and I had to defend her the whole time, I always found myself, defending my damn. Most of my arguments came from other people's shit. And it don't even be stuff that I did. I would be like, fuck. Brandy's not here. Why am I? why you didn't tell her on Tuesday when you seen her? Like, now I got to sit here and argue for Brandy all week long. Like, really? Why you didn't tell Jackie that when you seen her? You knew she wasn't shit on Tuesday. Now I'm here on Wednesday and I got to argue about it. So it was kind of that thing. Like, I had to argue for Drea, but I felt like she held her own. She wasn't, she was a little scary. But, like, she held her own, and she was very witty and funny, and she brought, like, the beauty appeal to it, and I enjoyed filming with her.
This industry is small, and one of the things that people did say was when Drea became, like, the fan favorite, that some of the girls were jealous of that.
I don't think that they were jealous. I just think that they were more like they knew... I'm still finding out things. So while I was filming, there was a lot of things that I didn't know about Drea, which I wouldn't care anyway, because I'm the type of person, how you treat me is what I go off on. I don't really care what you did in your past life and what you're doing. As long as you're a good person to me and mine, we're all good. But from what I'm hearing, that there's other things that I cannot speak to that was going on, and that's why they didn't like her. I was like, I just found out some shit like a week ago. That I was like, that makes sense. So I feel like that's the reason. And they can't say why they didn't like her. So it wasn't that she was fan favorite. It was like some personal shit.
Allegedly sleeping with some of the men of the cast members. Allegedly.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't. I mean, yeah.
And allegedly.
You know what?
No, it's all alleged. It's all alleged.
It's alleged.
Yeah.
But alleged is like fake. Alleged means it's done. So miss me with the alleged shit. But yeah, it was stuff that was done personally to that person, and she was fighting it but couldn't explain it.
So guys, what Malaysia Pargo said in her Carlos King interview maybe about a month ago or so is that Drea was a cool girl. She thought Drea was a fun girl. Drea was more her age. However, the girls didn't like Drea because Drea was Drea was messing around with those women's men's. Now, I don't know. I mean, girl, these were your castmates. Why were you ducking back doing stuff with they dudes? And for those of you who may not know, the guy in the first video clip that said Drea gave him head in the back of the car, that was actually Laura Govin's kid's father. Now, for those of you that don't know, you can go Google her. Laura Govin, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. She has 5 kids with him. She was on Basketball Wives as well. She had a very tumultuous relationship with him. He tried to take her kids away. It was a whole bunch of stuff. So you guys gotta go and look that up and maybe Google it to kind of familiarize yourself so I can understand why it would have been tension in that particular situation. Just thinking about all of the stuff that Laura was going through. And I think at once upon a time, they had lived together and he had put the girl out. So it was a situation where she didn't even have nowhere to stay. So a very, very bad situation. And what Malaysia is saying, this is why the girls didn't like Drea. You know how it is. Real women just don't like hoes. But hey, Drea has moved on. She's moved on to little boys now. And getting into this relationship that Drea has with Jalen Green is his name. Jalen Green is 22 years old. She's 39. And people are calling her an old pedo because they're like, girl, that's a baby. Well, he's not a baby. He is considered an adult, but I can understand because Drea actually has a son his age. So kind of interesting that she actually likes him her son's age. That's a little weird to me. Now, hey, that's just what I'm saying. I don't know what y'all think, but Jalen Green has an estimated net worth of about 5 million. Now that is probably lower than what he's actually worth, but people are just saying that Drea is getting in this little boy's pants because she's trying to get her some child support, honey. She's trying to get 18 years of a check is what they're saying she's trying to do. I don't know, but it is pretty weird that all these men in LA, but she decided to go with a 22-year-old, which is similar to the age of her son. So I'm just saying, and given, what everybody is saying, they trying to say, Drea is, one of them old, them garden tools. I don't know, but that is what, they're saying. But yeah, that is what the streets are saying. Drea most recently took to her social media and posted a picture that looks to be in her last trimester of pregnancy, which is very interesting because fans called her out when she was at a basketball game with some overalls on, and they said they saw a baby bump, which she slammed down and said it was a lie. But then she came out a few weeks later posting her pregnancy picture. But guess what else she did, y'all? She turned off the comments. So isn't that like feeling guilty? Because girl, why you turn off your comments? Because you know that they were going to drag you just like they're doing right now on social media. But again, he is grown, she's grown. I get it. They don't necessarily have to be the same age, but girl, do they gotta be your son's age? Because I don't know. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments about this situation. What do y'all think about Gilbertarenas basically saying that, Drea, she kind of like showed him what that mouth do in the back of that car with another man driving the car. So we just know that Drea is gonna get the money by any means necessary. So I don't know. Y'all gotta let me know what y'all think.